Well, welcome guys and viewers to the first episode of Quarantine Marketing. This was we've been talking about doing a show for a while. Didn't realize it was going to be like this. I also did not realize that Matt was going to be joining us from Star Destroyer Chimera. That's quite some isolation, some social separation you've put yourself in.
Yeah, when they put out the executive orders for social distancing, I decided to go off-world. I called my friend Grand Admiral Thrawn. I'm currently orbiting over Lothal, searching for a cell of rebels there. Hope we find them. But we've got the scanners going, so we're looking for a world with no corona to hide out on.
Excellent. Also, your nerd flag is showing.
I fly it proudly.
I was going to say, how many episodes have you watched of Star Wars since all this has happened? Okay, we don't have to go there.
Awesome. Well, I'll intro the team real quick here. So we've got our team here trying to shed some light on what we're doing with clients, where we see business it can go in this season that we're in. So we've got Matt Brandon. He's our marketing and creative director, and obviously he's in Star Wars world, so he definitely lives in that space. And then we've got Tyler Clemens. He's our director of acquisition, handles all of our paid strategies, conversions, those kinds of things. So he's going to be speaking a little bit around that. And then my name is Casey O'Quinn. Started the company about 20 years ago, and we have worked with clients in all kinds of spaces. And hopefully some of that experience over the last 20 years can help shed some light right now in what we're learning. So I'll just jump in and talk from a kind of, I guess, an overview. First off, business has not stopped. We're still meeting. We still talk about once a day. We're talking with our clients about once a day on the phone, on Zoom, and they're all in different. Everyone's in a different headspace right now. We have clients in healthcare. We have clients in retail. We have B2B. Like everyone's in a different space right now. So with that said, we also have clients on both ends of the spectrum in terms of how they're reacting to this right now. And I should also say how this is affecting them right now. We have some clients who are open for business, but with extremely limited hours, and it's very much affecting their bottom line. And they're facing some really, really hard decisions right now. We have other clients that even despite, like in their local areas, the counties enforcing, I don't want to call it shelter in place, but the idea of, they're very limited. Like the county's closed lots of businesses. They happen to fall in a category that lets them remain open, and they're actually, I don't want to say doing quite well, but they've embraced it, and they're really doing some things with their business to actually continue to sell and I don't want to say grow, but they're actually considering the situation, they're flourishing. So we really do have clients on all ends of the spectrum there, and we're trying to be sensitive to all of that. I would also say what we're seeing right now is just the importance and the idea of investing in your brand right now. People are at homes, they're living on their computers, they're living on their phones, as if we don't do that all of the time already. But right now, I think people are even more so on their devices. They're in front of screens. And so I think the importance of building brand right now, I think you're a little tone deaf if you're trying to sell too much right now. I'm not saying you can't sell right now. We have clients who are actually doing well, but I think being sensitive to the environment and everyone's headspace is important. And just that importance of trying to engage and entertain people right now. That's what they want. They're on their devices. They're looking for that kind of content right now. We've actually even circled back to some blog posts and things that we have been popular for some of our clients. We don't do a lot. We still blog actively for a lot of our clients, but we probably are pushing blog posts more than we used to because there's people have more time to read them. People have more of a desire to actually engage with things like that. So interesting the way things kind of come full circle. So that's one of the things we're seeing. And then even shifting budgets right now. I think Tyler will talk a little bit about that, but the idea of investing more of your budget in brand right now and content right now, as opposed to the bottom of the funnel. Well, let's make a sale. Let's get that decision maker to click and buy right now. That's probably not happening right now for a lot of businesses. And so how do you reallocate that budget? That's a big question that we're getting. And a lot of clients asking questions in that space. But I do want to tell a story and talk about the idea of investing in brand. I kind of, doing research and looking into things, and the Great Depression is something that kind of sparked my interest. And you've probably seen a lot of content, as have I. But the idea of what were people doing during the Great Depression, and I think Coca-Cola is one of the most interesting stories to come out of that time. So even though Coca-Cola had to make some hard decisions and cut a lot of expenses during that time, one thing that they did not cut was advertising. They did not cut their ad budget. They made sure to invest in their brand. And the interesting thing is that if you read a lot of the articles and a lot of the kind of the recaps of things that happened during that time period, they actually exited the Great Depression stronger and in a better position than when they entered it, because they had invested in brand. And you had a lot of other soda manufacturers, soda companies who were not doing that. And in fact, I think Coca-Cola even innovated during that time. I know Matt likes Coca-Cola as well in terms of what they do in terms of branding. And during the Great Depression is actually when they introduced their Santa Claus ads. And those ads are like synonymous with, like their Christmas ads are like synonymous with Coca-Cola. But during the Great Depression is when they had to actually innovate. And that was the first time we saw Santa Claus in one of their ads. So the idea of, a time like this doesn't have to necessarily be where we pull the reins back on all the marketing, but we can actually innovate with our marketing and do new things with our marketing. And I think the big takeaway from that is the brands that are cutting their ad budgets right now, my fear is that they're going to have some regret somewhere down the line on the other side of this, that they didn't invest in brand, maybe when some competitors were investing and not cutting ad budgets. So I know that I don't mean to be insensitive with that. I know there's companies having to make really hard decisions like downsizing, layoffs, things like that right now. So I don't want to be insensitive to that. But the idea of it's okay to invest in your brand right now. We'll talk a little bit about not being tone deaf as you do it, but I think that's really important right now, is making sure we're continuing to invest in our brands. Matt, I'll let you kind of weigh in from there. Your thoughts from a marketing and creative standpoint, what you're seeing and how you're reacting to this.
Yeah, so I think you said a lot of things that are spot on to what I think during times like this for content. It's all top of funnel. So some people use like a traditional 3-part funnel, top, middle, bottom. And top of funnel is where you're just kind of talking about people's pain points. That's the kind of content you want to be producing right now. We use more of a journey-based thing, which is like 8 stages. So we're looking at like the first 3-4 stages, because right now, like you said, it's not about, people are scared to spend money right now. So they're not going to spend money. While they're not going to spend money, what they do have a lot of is time. And so they can give you some of their time. And so whether that's, watching your video content, reading your blog post, if you can be present during this time of crisis, and if you can either inform them or entertain them, that's going to stick with them when the clouds part and they come out of this and they're willing to spend money again. Not only that, from more of like a technical plumbing side, the way it works now, if somebody reads your blog posts or watches your video, you're able to pixel them, and you're growing your audience during this time when everyone's consuming at a just prolific pace. Yeah. You are able to really build that audience. So when the wallets open back up, you have a very warm audience to go back to and say, hey, it's over. You remember a few weeks ago when you were reading that post about back pain? We can now help you with that. So if you continue to push forward with helping people, not selling, not that you can't sell, but really focusing on helping people during this time, it's really going to put you in a good spot when this is all over. I would say, different types of businesses have different capacities. Like Coca-Cola, obviously, people know what Coca-Cola is. It's a very simple product. Even during the Depression, people were familiar with Coca-Cola. They didn't have to explain what they did. So they're able to do very like high level branding stuff, like put Santa on it. And that's great if that's the type of business that you are. We probably don't have many of those watching this show. But what you can do, like I said, is either inform people or entertain people. And if you've done like a persona or a customer avatar exercise in your business, now is the time to go back to those things and look at it through the lens of this crisis and say, okay, for this persona, what does their life look like right now? And what can I give them right now that would be of value? What help can I give them? Even if it's something free that I can give away, like you see, everybody who has informational based product is basically just giving it away right now, and
Yeah.
that's really putting them in a good position for when this is over. If you don't have an informational based product, can you put together some kind of helpful guide, to help them with something? Or can you put together a video doing some kind of demonstration of something?
Mm.
Like we have a client who's a garden center. There's a lot of people gardening right now because they have nothing else to do. They're sitting at home. So content about, hey, it's springtime. You're at home with nothing to do. Here's how you can do this cool thing in your garden. And little things like that, just to stay in front of them. That's where it's at. So go back to those avatars. What is it that those people want right now through the lens of this crisis? And then Casey, you mentioned before the idea of blog content. Like 4 or 5 years ago, blog content was where it was at. Like if you wanted traffic, you had to be blogging. And we've seen that kind of trail off as everybody's watching video now. But like you said, people have more time now, so it's worth kind of going back and taking a look at those greatest hits if they're still relevant today, and kind of putting those greatest hits back out there. And one thing about promoting that content right now is it's super cheap, because Tyler can probably talk more high level or more granular than this, but basically the inventory is really high right now because there's so many people spending so much time online. Facebook and Google can just serve up a butt ton of ads because there's so much inventory available, which makes it really cheap for everybody to run ads, especially the way Facebook's algorithms work. When if it's engaging content, which your top of funnel content should be, if it's relevant to your audience, it gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as more and more people engage with it. And you're actually getting organic spread with it too, as people like it and comment and share it. So just bottom line, now is the time to help people where they're at with top of funnel content, or bottom level of the journey content, which is awareness, engagement, subscribe, like those things. Build your email list, like those guides we were talking about earlier.
That's
So
great.
that's where it's at right now.
That's good stuff. Tyler, that's a good transition to you. We actually met earlier today, and we were talking about some of the things you were seeing, some very specific campaigns in terms of our reach and costs, like reducing and increasing. It was really, it's sad the reason that it's happening, but it is happening. And so I think it's good to maybe hit on some of those things and other things you might be seeing in terms of ads and offers and those kinds of things right now.
Yeah. So if you think about even in the last, I don't know, week or half, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, everybody that's been that's in the financial industry is saying, stocks are on sale. Everything's on sale. Go buy, buy, buy. Well, technically ad costs are on sale right now as well. And, you talked about earlier, Casey, in investing in brand related things. And, if you're going to be running ads for these brand related things, like this is an investment, and it's a time to invest when things are at a much lower cost than what they normally are. You figure not only just with the amount of inventory, like Matt mentioned, more people on social media, more people searching. It just gives a lot more inventory for places like Facebook and Instagram to show more ads to people, which brings your cost down. Also, there's some big companies that are just backing down on ad spend. We've seen kind of the trend in the last year or two, or last 3 years, where bigger brands and bigger companies were getting onto these platforms to advertise, which everybody as a small local business was fearing that was going to drive up their costs, and some of it was happening. But now some of those companies are backing down on some of that. It doesn't mean they're going completely, off, but it does mean that they might be backing down, allowing, costs to drive down for everybody else across the board. And when it comes to Google, more people are searching for information. And so that's one thing that we're even looking at with our current clients right now is, Casey mentioned budget. Where should we be, putting our budget? There may be competitors of yours that just aren't advertising on Google right now. And so when people are searching for, local gyms, or not gyms, but like restaurants, chiropractors, anything healthcare related, if people are searching for that right now, and your competitors aren't putting ads out, well, it's going to be cheaper for you. You're going to be like that one person that's there, even as a bottom of funnel content for, book an appointment. And that kind of leads me to the next thing, which I wanted to mention here. Like Matt's talking about content. This is a time to even evaluate like your website and your social profiles. And we've talked about this for current clients as well. Let your customers or your clients know during this time like what to expect. Throw up something on your website that says, we understand what's going on right now with coronavirus, and expect some shipping delays. Here's some special hours. Delivery times might be delayed. Here's what we're doing to just stay above board on cleaning and things like that. Like, let them know. I heard a story just recently about a plumber in an area who had updated his website, and he actually got a customer the other day, and that customer said, yeah, I was looking at somebody else who was a little bit closer, but he hadn't put anything up on his website. And when I saw it on yours that you had updated it of just, here's what you're doing during this time, I booked with you. Just because he was, kind of still relevant. I know it's like touchy, like, do we want to talk about some things? Well, we're kind of at this point where we have to, in a way that isn't tone deaf, but that helps people understand, you as a company, what you're doing and who you are, and what's kind of shifting for your business to help them during this time. So yes, overall, ad cost dropping. Look at updating your social profiles, your websites, just to not necessarily be relevant, but just to let people know what you're doing during this time, that you're still open, you're still available, or you're not. That way there's no guessing, and they know that things are being updated on a daily basis for them. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I mean, we've seen, if you want to get a little bit more in numbers, I've seen just kind of across the board with all the different accounts we manage, about a 20, anywhere from 20 to 30% average decrease in costs, depending on the results we're looking for, if it's landing page views or conversions, et cetera, just overall decrease in costs on a daily basis. And then we're also just getting increase in results because of that. So it goes hand in hand, right? But yeah, we're just seeing kind of that 20 to 30% across the board, and who knows if that'll continue to even go down as time goes on. And so it's a time to be reevaluating. And like Matt said, that top of funnel content is engaging, which if it's being engaged with and people love it, it automatically, Facebook and their algorithm starts dropping that cost for you to reach up new people. So you're kind of just getting this overall concept of cheaper ad costs, and you can stay top of mind and stay relevant and give value to people. Because that's what it's all about, is giving that value.
Yeah, and the key there is the offer. We're getting some of those results for clients because it's an appropriate offer right now. Yeah. We're not trying to sell some. This isn't a client with a high ticket, like inappropriate, tone deaf kind of offer right now, right?
So you want to talk about relevant offer. Have you guys heard about all the restaurants? I think one restaurant started it. Now there's multiple in all different states that were offering a free roll of toilet paper if you picked up, your order on site, or even, I don't know if anybody did with delivery, but they were basically giving away free rolls of toilet paper when you would pick up, your food, your pizza, your whatever.
I've not heard that.
Again,
that's amazing.
like, it's relevant, right? But and you might be like, okay, that's kind of dumb, they would never do it, but they're relevant. They'll be remembered for that because they understood the needs of their customers right now, and we're willing to help provide that value and service.
And not just that, I mean, restaurants have really been forced out of the box here. Like restaurants that have not offered pickup or delivery are now offering pickup and delivery. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's a permanent change for a lot of them. Like, I can't wait to see how many permanent business and cultural changes come out of this thing. It's actually going to end up being better for the consumer and better for businesses. And I think that might be one of them. And here in Texas, they're delivering booze as well. So
yeah,
that's a new one.
They're going to hope that stays. Yeah. I think, when we're talking about the offers, it's true. Like, what else could you be bundling? Restaurant's an easy example right now because a lot of them are having to shift, but what could you offer in a bundle offer? Free cheesy fries when you order today, like just something that's a little bit different, that's more perceived value, And, to be able to get that customer to say, hey, we're going to go there tonight because they're offering, free cheesy fries, and I really want some cheesy fries, and they're free. So why not? Just looking at other ways that you can add on to what you're already doing, offering just free delivery. I know some places are doing that. They might not offer free cheesy fries, but they're saying, hey, we'll deliver it to you for free, which is a big deal. So you're even seeing local gyms. I know you're talking about just different industries and how they're all changing. I mean, local gyms are all shut down. Like, they're not even able to be open right now. And I think they've just kind of been forced to come up with new ways to stay connected with people. I'm somebody that likes to work out myself, and it's absolutely killing me to not be able to go to a gym. And so I'm just having to be creative to look for new ways to work out at home without any equipment. And so you've seen gyms and trainers who have shifted and said, yeah, I'm going to put out video trainings and build a little membership site or a quick Facebook group, even, to just build the community online as fast as possible and still offer that value. And I'm now doing workouts at home that I never would be doing if this whole thing didn't happen. But I'm able to learn from those types of people that I normally wouldn't think twice about learning from because I'm in a gym. And so they're able to stay connected, stay top of mind, and help. And they'll be remembered for that once this kind of starts to blow over and ends, and people are back to what was normal.
That's good stuff. I saw a gym who they were, is a box style gym. And so they were doing for their members, you could come check out a piece of equipment. And so you would come in, and whether it's kettlebells or, obviously I don't think there's some stuff you're not taking home with you, but you know what I'm saying? Like, the most appropriate things, like you could come check out some stuff and take it home and then bring it back. And people were just kind of, coming and going, getting what they needed. But as what that was going to do was reduce people canceling their memberships right now. Yep. Because they could get there, they could get some equipment that they wouldn't normally have access to. I thought that was a brilliant move to continue serving their customers and probably reducing churn because they're able to keep serving them.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit, Tyler. We've put a little something together in terms of those offers and kind of rethinking that stuff and getting creative, because we're forced to be creative right now. We've got something cool that we've put together. Tell the folks a little bit about what we're doing there.
Yeah. So even ourselves, we're having to kind of get back to the basics a little bit, which, sometimes as you're growing and things get busy, you forget to just talk to your customers, talk to your clients, understand where they're at, what's going on, how you can best help. And so, it's kind of the best time right now to maybe survey some of those customers that you have. And I told Matt earlier, email may not be the best way, because if you're like us, you've probably gotten thousands of emails from companies you didn't know you had an email, submitted to them. And so you may be just kind of glossing over all those coronavirus emails now. So maybe try calling them. If there is a way that you have their phone number, try calling them and just asking some questions. And I think once you get 20 or 30 people, you'll start to see trends of what they're struggling with and how you might be able to help. And so we were kind of in the same boat of trying to look at how do we get back to the basics, talk to our clients, ask questions, and maybe pivot with some different offers. And that's kind of where we've come to this offer that we want to have available to you. If you are interested, we know that right now people are having to think outside the box when it comes to their offers. Some people are being forced to do this. Some are just choosing to do it to bring value and to continue to grow during this time. We ourselves are having to do that as well. So we would love to help you craft a new offer, or come up with kind of the ideal sales conversations that you could be having right now with your customers, with your clients, using almost this current situation with the coronavirus as a triggering event that allows you to put a new offer in front of them that they are either interested in to buy or to take up to maybe become a customer later. And we would love to do that. We titled it the PJ Workshop, Rethink Your Offer. It's basically allows us to do a Zoom call like this with you, with our team, and be able to go through.
You can do it from your own Star Destroyer. You can do it from Middle Earth.
PJ's in your Star Destroyer.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, it would be a Zoom call like this. about an hour where we can help craft that ideal sales conversation for you and craft that perfect offer for you during this time for your customers. So there should be a link below this video that you can click to go check out everything that's included in that offer. We would love to help you during this time and love to help you pivot in whatever way that we can during this time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something where our whole team will be present on that call, and so you really will get some good counsel and some good advice from some very qualified guys on this call that I'm proud to work with. So that's it for episode 1. Our plan is to produce maybe 1 to 2 of these a week, and we're going to be very fluid. I can't tell you what's going to be on the next episode because we'll go watch the news and figure out what's going to be on the next episode. So yeah, we'll look at producing 1 to 2 a week. And yeah, if you've got questions, things you want us to cover, it'd be great. Submit those. Let's figure out what we can all do together to kind of stay strong, stay positive and encouraged, and know that this climate is going to change. And let's just be in a better position coming out of it than we went into it. Like Coca-Cola, let's position ourselves. That isn't always going to take ad dollars necessarily, but let's just do what we can to kind of invest in our companies and, again, come out of this stronger, ready to hit the ground running again in terms of sales and marketing and growing our businesses. So that's it for episode 1. Matt, Tyler, thanks for being on and weighing in and providing some great info to people.
You bet.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.